Are you thinking about moving to Dayton? Maybe for relocation, affordability, a quieter lifestyle, or a slower pace than other big cities? Before you jump in, there are 7 big things you want to know to make sure that Dayton really fits you. I'm David Moyer, and I'm going to walk you through what works and the things people often overlook. The number one thing a lot of people want to know when they're relocating here to the greater Dayton area is, what are the costs of living? What is it like compared to where I'm coming from? And 99% of the time, the cost of living here in Dayton and the surrounding suburbs like Oakwood, Kettering, Centerville, Vandalia, Beaver Creek is a lot less than the national average. Your dollar is going to stretch a lot further here in the greater Dayton area. That's great news if you're coming from a larger city or a larger metropolitan area. If you're looking to rent, the average rent right now in Dayton is going to be around $1,500 to $1,700 a month. And if you're coming from a larger metropolitan area, that is a heck of a lot lower than what you're probably paying right now. If you're relocating here, whether it be PCS through the military, coming to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, or if your job is relocating you here, if you're going to be in the area for at least 3 to 5 years, the option to buy is really going to be your best bet. The reason is affordability. Your dollar is going to stretch a lot further. If you are financially conscious and you're thinking, maybe now is the time for me to buy when I relocate to this area, that's absolutely right. Your dollar is going to stretch. You're going to get a lot more square footage, the amenities are going to be a lot more, and you're going to get a lot of peace of mind when it comes to making an investment here in the greater Dayton area. Then if for some reason, after 3 to 5 years, your job is relocating you again, or if you're in the military and your PCS is taking you elsewhere, you know that you can probably turn that home around and the equity would have built and you could sell it at a higher amount than what you bought it for originally. Or if you're looking to hang on to that property like so many of my clients do and rent it, there's a great option there as well. A lot of my relocation clients that come to the greater Dayton area, even if they're getting relocated out of Dayton, a lot of times when they're looking to slow down or maybe nearing retirement, they actually come back here because of the cost of living and their money is going to go a lot further. If you're a relocation buyer that is prioritizing financial peace of mind, Dayton's affordability can be a huge draw. The number 2 thing you're going to want to know if you're relocating here to the greater Dayton area is that the housing market here, there are a ton of options and there are a lot more choices than you might think. In downtown Dayton and some of the surrounding suburbs, we have a wide variety of older historic homes. So if something with a little bit of charm, natural woodwork is really right up your alley, you're going to find that here in the greater Dayton area. We also, in the suburbs, have a ton of new developments. We always see new construction as a huge competitor here in the greater Dayton area, so you can actually get into a brand new home for far less than maybe you could actually purchase a resale home if you're coming from outside Ohio. And apartments and starter homes, the cost of living there is going to be a heck of a lot less. That's going to give you a lot of flexibility depending on your budget and your lifestyle. And a lot of people here know that home ownership in the greater Dayton area offers better equity building. That means paying a mortgage in a lower cost environment is going to help you build a lot of equity and build wealth through real estate a lot faster than almost anywhere else in the country. Our suburbs here and our communities around Dayton, they offer a really great balance. So if you want a quiet and a family-friendly atmosphere, but you still want to be close to a lot of things, a lot of some of the big city things like theaters, recreation, music, concerts, you can still get that here in Dayton. A funny saying, and anybody here in Dayton can verify this, you can live in any of our suburbs and get downtown or get anywhere else in 20 minutes or less. And that's true. I've lived here my entire life. I've been selling real estate for over 21 years, and it takes you no more than 20 minutes, maybe a little bit more during those high traffic areas, to get from point A to point B. Why does this matter? The buyers get flexibility. If you're coming to Dayton, whether you want the walkability of a city life, a suburban calm, or a mix of both, you can find that. The number 3 thing, if you are looking for lifestyle, culture, and a sense of community, Dayton really has it. It's more than just cheap living. We have a great cultural district. We have the Dayton Art Institute. We have the Schuster Center and Dayton Live, the Victoria Theater. We have local arts organizations and local theater like Dayton Theater Lab. We also have the Dayton Playhouse, the Human Race, Dayton Contemporary Dance Company, which is recognized nationally, and it's all housed right here in Dayton. Not to mention our rich history. After all, this is where the Wright brothers came from. You can go to Carillon Park, what the Wright brothers brought to the greater Dayton area, all of what the Pattersons brought. This is also where the self-starting engine began, and it's also where NCR was founded, National Cash Register. Almost anywhere else in the world you go, you're going to find NCR somewhere. Fun little tidbit, Years ago, I went to Havana, Cuba, and while I was there, in a small local bar, I saw a gold cash register that said NCR, Dayton, Ohio. And that is a true testament to how much history comes out of our area that maybe you don't know about. Speaking of history, if you're an aviation buff, we are home to the National Air Force Museum. It is a great collection, everywhere from presidential planes to B-2 bombers. They are here for you to experience and see all the rich culture that the Air Force has also brought to the greater Dayton area. Outside of that, if you're a recreational person, we have a great Metro Parks division, and that goes all the way from downtown Dayton out into the suburbs. Tons of recreation, tons of river activities, and that offers a much slower, more relaxed lifestyle than a lot of other big cities. And because Dayton is a little bit of a smaller urban area, you get that small city vibe. You get those friendly neighborhoods, and it's really easy to be connected. It's really easy to integrate here into Dayton's culture. One of the nice things about Dayton is it's a big city feel, but everybody seems to know one another. You still get that small town feel, even though you're in a larger city. For relocation buyers, especially families or retirees, or those wanting a balanced life, Dayton can feel just right at home. It can feel comfortable with a great sense of community and a quality of life without some of the big stresses that a bigger city can bring. Number 4 is going to be some of the trade-offs, what you should know before you commit to coming to the greater Dayton area. Number 1 being the job market and the opportunities. While there are a ton of really stable employers and private sectors, especially aerospace, healthcare, manufacturing, some newcomers may find the job market a little bit limited compared to your bigger metro areas, but we do have great opportunities for almost every single sector if you're looking to move to the area. Also, if you're used to public transportation, if you're used to a subway or a metro, or if you're used to using the public transportation such as a bus or something like that on a regular basis, you may find that most people that move to Dayton find that having their own personal vehicle is going to be a lot more economic for them and a lot easier. We do have public transportation. It's called the RTA, and it does take you all the way into the suburbs and anywhere you want to go downtown. But having a private car can actually get you from point A to point B a little bit faster than public transportation. Also, when it comes to neighborhoods and amenities, there are a lot of variations. Some neighborhoods or suburbs will feel vibrant and full of all kinds of amenities and cultural events, community events, and a lot of festivals, while others can feel a little bit less quiet or a little bit more quiet and maybe a little bit less developed. But if that's what you're looking for, we have that for you. But if you're looking for something that's always going to be vibrant, there are communities in Dayton that maybe are not going to fit that bill correctly. And lastly, being that I'm recording this right now in December in Ohio, weather really matters. Ask anybody that grew up here in Ohio, and as much as Ohio winters can be tough, that's just part of life. Good to be mentally prepared when you're moving here. We do have a lot of snow, we do have a lot of ice, and sometimes the temperatures can drop sub-zero and stay that way sometime for days, if not weeks at a time. That's just part of life. That's part of living here in the Midwest. So if you're not used to that, that's definitely something you want to prepare yourself for, or at least look a little bit more into. Why this matters? This is going to give you a really great idea of the good, the bad, and the ugly. I don't just want to say that, hey, cost of living's great, you should definitely move to Dayton. You want to make sure you have these things in mind before you move here. They're all just a part of life. I've lived here my entire life, so I'm happy to go over any concerns you may have about what it's like to live in the Midwest, what it's like to live in Dayton, and what it's like to move right here to the heart of Ohio. The number 5 consideration that you may want to have is that the neighborhood and suburb strategy is really important to find the exact right fit that's going to work for you and your lifestyle. So Dayton area isn't just one thing. I may say Dayton area a lot, but it doesn't encompass the entire area. There are multiple suburbs and neighborhoods, each with various vibes, different price ranges, and different advantages depending on what you're looking for. What do you need? Are you looking for good schools, a short commute to wherever you're working? Are you looking for suburban peace? Are you looking for the nightlife and the walkability factor? Is outdoor recreation something that's really important to you? When it comes to that, that's how we really select the type of neighborhood, if it's in Dayton, or the type of suburb outside of the greater Dayton area that's really going to work for you. So if commuting is not something that's necessarily too important to you, but having a sense of small town community is, maybe somewhere like Springboro or Centerville is going to appeal. You can get from Centerville or Springboro to downtown Dayton in about 20 minutes, but both of those communities also offer their own niches of communities and small town feel that maybe is something that you're craving. But if you're looking for that walkability, you want to walk out your front door, take your dog, go to a coffee shop, a really great one right now on Wayne and Clover if you haven't heard, living downtown in the urban areas like the Oregon District, St. Anne's Hill, McPherson Town, Grafton Hill is going to be really, really important. So as a realtor, it's really important for me to match those buyers with the lifestyle they're looking for, because you can go from point A to point B. I can take you 5 miles in either direction and the lifestyle is going to be completely different. So it's not just a one size fits all. So if there's something specific that you need, it's important that you talk to somebody that can give you a total background of what Dayton truly has to offer and what those individual areas truly have to offer. As we're getting to the last few things here, number 6 is the quality of life perks. And it's something that you may not hear about too much. So I talked about the affordability aspect and the reasonable housing and how living in the greater Dayton area can actually have lesser stress compared to the larger urban areas you may be moving from. And that's the potential for you as a newcomer or a relocation person here to Dayton, Ohio, to have a much better work-life balance. At the end of the day, you don't want to 100% focus on your work, at least I hope not, and you obviously can't 100% focus on just your life because you do have to work to support that life. And Dayton offers a little bit of both, so you can have a great work-life balance because of the cost of living and the reasonable housing that we have here. And if you're coming from an area that is rich in culture, rich in arts, and you are a huge theater goer, you like the nightlife, you like various restaurants, you like museums, Dayton is going to offer that to you as well. Once again, we have great access to the arts, the culture scene, the nature scene, and it's often underestimated. So for many newcomers from big cities, this is a major balance and it is a major upside to moving to the greater Dayton area. And there's great opportunity for homeownership. So many times I have relocation buyers that are coming from larger areas that maybe have not had the chance to jump into being sustainable homeowners. And they actually have that chance to do that here in the greater Dayton area and build equity while they're here. Whether this is their final stop for the rest of their life or they're here just for the next 5 or 6 years, they have the opportunity to build wealth and build equity and create a long-term financial stability compared to renting in a more expensive city. So these are all some benefits that maybe you might not hear about on a regular basis, but are definitely things to know before you come into the area. So you don't just come in here and rent and not take advantage of some of the opportunities to build wealth that you can take advantage of right here in Central Ohio. And number 7 is going to be your final checklist, and that is what to do before you move. And this is going to be a really good thing to keep in mind. First of all, crunch your budget. Know exactly what you currently pay compared to what you want to pay when you come here to the area. And if it's exactly the same and you're coming from a higher end area, you're going to get a lot of more bang for your buck. And knowing what you're going to pay in Dayton compared to other places such as housing, utilities, transportation, lifestyle things is going to be really important. So crunching those numbers and knowing your budget before you come here is going to help you tremendously. I recommend that people visit. And not just to visit to look at homes, but visit to actually experience the area, experience the suburbs, and experience some of the culture that we have here in Greater Dayton. So you can explore those neighborhoods and suburbs, get a feel for what they feel like, not only on the weekdays, but also the weekends, and if that matches up to what you're looking for. And also, once again, think long-term. Think long-term stability, job stability, what the commute is like, and kids, if you have them, and what your lifestyle is, not just your initial savings when you first come to Dayton, Ohio. Partner with a local realtor, like me, and I can help you navigate those housing and neighborhoods and all those little hidden gems that maybe a lot of newcomers are going to overlook no matter how much you research online and do all of your Google searches. Work with somebody who knows the city like the back of their hands. Also, keep an open mind. Dayton may surprise you. It is one of the fine hidden gems in the Midwest. A lot of times when I go across the country, I meet with other agents, I go to national conferences, and I talk to them about Dayton, Ohio. A lot of times they really did not know that much about Dayton. Maybe they've heard it, maybe they've heard about the Wright brothers. Of course, they probably have heard about the Wright brothers, but that's about the extent of it. So once I go into it, they go, oh my gosh, this is something I definitely want to keep in mind for my clients if they're ever looking to relocate to an area for more affordability. So there are a lot of things that you want to make sure you partner with somebody who knows exactly what they're talking about and can show you all of those hidden gems. So to wrap it up, is Dayton perfect? Probably not for everyone, and that's just the honest truth. But if you're looking to stretch your dollar, enjoy a laid-back lifestyle with access to city amenities, and build a home without breaking the bank, Dayton deserves serious consideration. So if you want to help finding a neighborhood that fits your lifestyle, your budget, your goals, I'd love to help. My name's David Moyer. I'm with Keller Williams Advisors. I'm also the CEO of David Moyer Real Estate. You can contact me anytime. My cell phone number is 937-477-2298. You can find that link in my bio. You can also email me at davidmoyer@kw.com, or very easily just go to my namesake website, which is davidmoyer.com. That's DAVIDMOYER.com. And let's find your spot in the Miami Valley together. I look forward to talking to you. Oh, and before you go, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, make sure you like and subscribe. Feed the algorithm. This helps me help other people that are considering a relocation here to the greater Dayton area. And also, if you have any questions or you have any concerns about a certain neighborhood, or you really want to know a niche area here in the Dayton area that maybe I didn't touch on ever so briefly in this video, drop it in the comments and tell me what you care about. The schools, the commute, the lifestyle. I am happy to answer those questions and make sure that you make the best decision.